Hey, call me Shape. And today I'm reacting to a video titled Pretty Black Women Feel the Pain as Black Men Walk Away. Let's get right into it.
Is anyone else in like a weird dating conundrum once you hit 40 where you want to date somebody that's your age, but it seems like all the men that are your age don't have any energy anymore to do anything? Like they're like, oh, I just want to like be a homebody and be chill and just like live my life and I don't know, build things. And then you're like, but I don't want to do that. I kind of still have a lot of energy and I want to go out and I want to have fun. And they're like, whoa, I think you might be too much for me. But then when you try to date somebody that's younger, that's like in their 30s, they're like children and they don't have their shit together. So you're kind of just like, well, what do I do? Like, where do I go? I don't know. Somebody, if you have advice, please help. Is anyone else in like a weird...
I have some advice for the black woman that feel like she doesn't belong. And by the way, again, more attractive black women struggling dating, okay? So she's in her 40s, and she says men her age, they don't want to go out and have fun. And the men that are younger than her don't have enough money to have fun. And that's exactly the problem. Women want a man that's young and has a bunch of energy to have fun, but also rich, you know what I'm saying? And actually wants to spend money. A lot of dudes to her age, they don't want to spend money on her. Why? Why? You know what I'm saying? So now, because she thought this would actually work, she's feeling the pain. You know what I'm saying? And she's not the only one. Of course, you guys would know I have more black women complaining about dating in their 40s, okay? And they're still attractive. But hey, let's listen to what they got to say, and then we're going to respond to it.
So you know what really blows me? It's like, I'm 40, right? I just made 40 on the 11th. And first of all, I hate having relationship conversations, but I really hate having like relationship conversations and debates and stuff like that with men my age, but who date 25-year-olds. It's like you want to get into an argument with me and have a rational conversation with me and want me to understand your point of view when I'm not the demographic of women that you date. So like expecting me to understand why it's frustrating for you that every time you meet a bitch, she asking you to pay her light bill. It's like, when I was 25, I might have needed help paying my light. Matter of fact, when I was 25, I think I still stay with my parents. But it's like, I don't have any sympathy for you. And I don't understand your point of view. I really don't give a shit. Because if you wasn't dating a 25-year-old and you was dating someone that was more age appropriate, then you wouldn't be having like these type of questions, debates and stuff like that. Like, I have a mortgage. My car note and car insurance is damn near somebody else's mortgage. So it's like, I'm not about to ask you to get my nails done. Like, I'm not trying to judge, I should say, because if a 45-year-old wants to date a 25-year-old, I feel like do you. But when you want to debate relationships between men and women, you should debate them with the women in the age demographics that you date. Don't come and try to get me to understand your plight or whatever when it's not my age demographics that's giving you the hardships. It's not my age demographics that's giving you the plight. At least in my circle of friends, the women I know, we bring something to the table. Like we have careers, and I'm not using that as like a little bragging tool and stuff like that. But it's like, I'm not asking nobody to get my hair.
We bring something to the table. We have careers. We have careers. You can't make this up. We bring something to the table. We have careers. Oh my. Well, look, here's another 40-year-old woman who doesn't have a great time dating. Okay, black women, you guys, fool around in your 20s or your 30s. Now in your 40s, dating hasn't gotten better. And now she's complaining that men her age are dating younger women. And he's telling her about his plate, where I guess maybe younger women are expensive. If you're a man over 40 years old and younger women are tricking you out of your money, you don't have a younger woman problem. You have a you problem, okay? You need to set boundaries for yourself and not let women control you, okay? I don't yield to anyone but God. God is the sovereign king of my life, and therefore I yield to him. I don't surrender to him. You know what I'm saying? You surrender to an enemy. I yield to God, okay? He's the sovereign king of my life, okay? And because of that, I am the sovereign king of my assignment, my purpose, okay? And I'm saying that to say that a lot of men think women are their purpose, and so women become their sovereign king, okay? I don't want women to become my sovereign king. Anyway, she also says, debate women that are your age demographic that you're dating. Our demographic doesn't give you problems. Lie. All women get problems of all demographics, of all ages. Women don't stop being a problem. Being a problem is part of women's existence. You're a problem. You don't believe me? What about Eve, okay? The very first woman to ever exist was causing problems, okay? So I think inherently women are going to cause problems, and up to us men to lead them away from their chaos, okay? I don't want to save anybody, okay? But I can lead people, okay? To the land of prosperity, okay? So I think the important thing to take away from here is that all these women in their 40s or so are dating, they're complaining about men, you know, and it seems like black men are just walking away. Right, the guys that she's talking about, they're still broke. He's 40s and broke, so she's not clearly dating the guys that they really want, all right? And again, you know, I don't understand why there's so many women over 40 running to TikTok, but we're going to react to these videos. Let's see another woman over 40 that's having trouble dating.
I was sharing on my close friends how I genuinely just don't feel attracted to the men my age. I'm 41 and I've been single for a year and a half. Prior to that, I was in long relationships most of my life. So this is kind of like the first time that I experienced what dating is. And although I've complained so much about it, I've gotten with some characters and some crazy dudes. I do have to say that when you're in your 40s, or what I've experienced at least, dating men my age who have already had kids, been divorced, or been in other relationships just doesn't work for me, because they're in like a different mindset of like, I just want to live life and I just want to like do whatever, and I just want to like, I don't know. I don't know if they're frustrated. They're hitting a midlife crisis. I don't know. But I feel like dating men that are younger, in their mid 30s, low 30s, it's more fun. Like, they're more fun. They actually are looking for a real woman, not a girl that they have to babysit. And they're genuinely looking for a real connection. I don't want to generalize, but a lot of them, the ones that I've actually met, you know, it's like, okay, this is it. Like, that's exactly what I connect with, and especially the fun ones. If you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, that they have a lot more energy. They have a lot more energy. What can I say? Am I lying? The dudes that are in their mid-30s, you should leave a comment. You should leave a comment.
I'm going to leave a comment, okay? I'm going to leave a comment. Her name is Jomaira. Dominican chick, attractive, decently attractive, okay. She looks like she might be fit. You know, we'd have to look at more of her images, her page or whatever to determine, you know, how attractive she is. In fact, you know, because I am that dude, you know what I'm saying, we'll take a quick look. Let's see what we got working here. I don't know. That can't be her, yo. Is that her? That can't be her. But these are the 40-year-old women that are struggling. Maybe this is her. On the thicker side. She's on the thicker side. But back to her point overall. Her point that she actually likes dating younger men better. You know what I'm saying? The fact that she actually, you know, likes dating younger men better. I think it's funny because as a younger man, in my 30s, I guess you could say my late 30s, I'm 37 years old, I get what she means about the energy, and we're looking for something serious, and we're tired of the playing around with the girls, you know what I'm saying? Like the play around girls, oh my God. We're tired of girls that are just like so cavalier about life and they just want to go out and drink and party. Like, I could be more serious with a girl right now, but, you know, I'd rather just choose... you know, it's funny because I'd rather just focus on my purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I could be a good catch for a girl right now. And I'm sure, like, she's bigging us up, right? Like, when you enter when you're 35 plus, you're entering your prime as a man, especially if you don't have any kids. You're entering your prime as a man. If you're 40 years old, you got no kids, you're in your prime as a man, especially if you're after the wealth. If you're really trying to build wealth, because in my personal opinion, if you're going to be a man, you might as well build wealth. Right? This is God's kingdom. My God is a God of abundance. He's not a God of lack, okay? A lot of people think it's an evil thing to be rich and wealthy, but wealth is a word from the Bible. Wealth is a Bible word, you know what I'm saying? So, for me, wealth is a spiritual event, right? So to be wealthy is not a bad thing. I know a lot of people demonize it, and you can never be good at something you despise, So I'm not going to demonize wealth. It's a good thing. But anyway, we have another girl, and this is one of the girls I actually used for the thumbnail, and she talks about how she's dating again at 42. And I don't know what she's going to say. I don't really remember what she said, but let's take a look.
Do y'all remember being younger and watching the movies? And it was always like some evil girl. She got her life together, businesswoman, taking care of herself, and she just don't have time for a man. She finally meet like the perfect man, and he like doing everything right, and she just so and no and prim and proper, and you like, girl, let him love you, let him love you. I never understood. I'm like, why is she being like that? I understand it now. I totally understand it now. When you let people play in your face, and then you give them your heart, you give them your, they meet your family, y'all. You think y'all won, and then they play in your face. I understand that now. I used to hate them movies like, I can't stand her. I would never be like her. She this, she that. I'm her. She is me. Okay? That's me today. Because why I will bust your whole teeth out if you play with me. I got people on my line right now that I actually like. But I don't. Why? Because you play too much. No, I don't. I'm different. No, you ain't. You the same, just like the rest of them. How do I get...
These conversations get so tired, they get so old. I know girls like this. You meet them and they're so paranoid that someone's playing with them, playing in my face. What exactly I don't know you, girl. What do you mean playing I don't know you. We're not in a relationship. You're not my wife. So for you to think that and this is what happens to girls, they're trying to get you to convince them that you're being super loyal to them. Why am I being super loyal to you, girl? I don't know you. I just met you. Oh no, you're talking to a bunch of other girls. I know you. You get a bunch of girls. Girls like her, all they do is heckle you about how many girls you got. That's like the beginning of your relationship with a girl like that is, oh yeah, you don't really like me. You got other girls. You got other girls. And it's like, in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I've seen this play so many times. Do girls like rehearse this together or something? Like, it's like, you get so much other girls, you get so much, like, and I get it. Their whole point is they're worried about being cheated on, a man lying to them or whatever. So, and they're really attracted to you. They know that other girls find you attractive. So they want you to go above and beyond to prove that you're not talking to other girls. Even though the reality of it is, why are you concerned about being the only one? See, women don't want to compete. They get older. She's 42 years old. She don't want to compete. She want a high value man that gives her all his time and attention, and there's no competition for her. And how do you convince someone to do that? Right? Why do you want all... What? I had a girl like this, and she tried to go through my phone. I snatched my phone, and she tried to fight me for my phone. I'm like, why are you fighting me for my phone? She's like, oh, you got something to hide. You see this little game that you're talking about? I'm playing a game. No, you're playing the game. You're projecting. You're crazy. Okay? And women like this, guys, you got to be very careful of women like this. I'm telling you. And when she's making that fist, she's not playing. They get really mad. They get really frustrated. I've dated a girl just like this. She made a fist and everything just like that. And fought with me about all this stuff. She really liked me, but she's paranoid that I was just going to pump and dump her. Right? And this lady actually is more proof. One of the commenters said, I understand you're not alone. It's like a sport to men to get a good catch and then play and then they lie and play games. It's hard to find a man who really is serious. It's kind of sad too because we have daughters. Yeah, so you guys are single moms and y'all begging a man to put you first, but you can't put us first. You got to put your kids first. Make it make sense. It doesn't make sense. And it's sad that, we have to constantly have this discussion. And, more and more women in their 40s, they're realizing that men are just like, we're not doing this, okay? And all these girls in particular, you got to understand, right? All these videos are only being made by women who've never gotten the guys they wanted. they never got the guys they wanted. Okay, they constantly deal with conflict with men that they don't want, and they get no attention from the men they do want.
So someone rude just told me I look old because of my hands. He's like, I can tell how old you are because of your hands. His ass look old because of his face. The audacity. These men. Let me tell you something, ladies. Don't let them do it. They'll tell you anything. They will tell you anything. So
This girl got a whole costume on and a super filter and some old ass hands. She's complaining, oh, he told me I got old hands. You know, yeah, that's kind of rude. I would have never told her that. I dated a girl that got old looking hands. You know, some of them are just very slim girls. They got, you know, your hand, for the most part, your hand got very little, very, very little fat in it. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you're a skinny girl, it shows a lot of, you know what I'm saying, like, it shows a lot of the bone in your hand. You know what I'm saying? So that's what she's experiencing. And, you know, you can have ugly hands as a girl. It's not... I could compromise if a girl's a good girl and she got ugly hands, I guess, you know what I'm saying, if she has everything else going for her. But this girl, you know what I'm saying, obviously is playing in the same costume that most women play in. You know, they got the super filter. You can't even tell her real face, so I don't even know how young, how old this girl really looks. She looks like she got good bone structure, but her face doesn't even look real. Look at these super filters, you know what I'm saying? She looks like she has great bone structure, though, you know what I'm saying? But either way, you know, again, these women are having issues with the men that they're dating on the dating market. Now, some girls are actually talking about their life on dates. And I thought this was pretty interesting. I came across a couple girls that talk about their dating life, right, throughout the year. Let's see what this girl has to say about it.
1. That is the number of dates I have been on all of 21. That is the number of dates I have been on all of 2024. 1. We are in the 9th month of the 2024 year of our Lord said, and a number of dates that I have been on equals 1. That is the gestation period of a human baby. I've talked to some people, but things genuinely aren't clicking. I remember telling a man I wanted to feel seen. I'm pretty sure he thought that meant naked. Someone in my comment section said my DMs gotta be wetter than water. While this is not an invitation to slip, slide, swim, fly, flip, or float over into them, that couldn't be further from the truth. I will admit, I haven't had any dates, but I have had some disappointment and despair. I'm just waiting on my annual visit from seasonal depression. Closest I've been to actual eggplant is probably down in the produce section of Wegman. Unless, of course, my encounter with a gray-haired midwife, a glob of medical-grade lubricating jelly, and a speculum counts. Is there anybody who knows somebody that can explain why they use so much of that jelly? Like, it's not just gonna leak out of my body for the rest of the day in random spurts. Speaking for myself, the pain is not the entry point. It's using that medieval device to crank open my cervix. But that's not the point of the store. There is truly nothing like inching close to the dark at 5 and chilly outside to remind me of just how single I am. Other than the therapy copays, sometimes I question why I traded in boys for body pillows and blankets. Anyway, I say all that to say, I know I gotta get back out there, and I just hope that this cuffing season is as good to me as it's been to you. 1. That is the number of dates I have been on.
If you've been on one date in the last year, the chances are that you're going to go on more dates as you get older as a woman is highly unlikely. I know it's sad to say that. You know, I hate that I have to say this too. You know, women don't generally age gracefully. You know, you have to be an exceptional woman to age gracefully. Generally, black women tend to age the best. So this girl, she's in her 40s. She doesn't necessarily look like she's in her 40s. Shout out to her. Definitely think she should work out, right? Get her more in shape. I think that could help her tremendously. I'm digging the natural hair. She got natural hair. And she got a little humor. She got a little charisma. That's kind of cool. You know, that's funny. Very entertaining. But ultimately, I think the biggest thing for her is if she got in better shape. And, you know, a lot of people don't like working out. They don't like it. They don't like eating healthy. They don't like it. They more focused on pleasures like watching movies and entertainment. You know, it's funny because those are the exact things that ruin the brain. They ruin the brain. You know what I'm saying? Like if you want to make the brain rot, you just give it noise and entertainment, right? That's why even in my content, I try to make sure I give some information. Like we talk about God, there's a lot of takeaways for you. So like, it's not just like fluff for you. It might actually put you down a path of where you focus on your purpose, where you actually go seek God, right? You look for you start reading some of the books that I recommend. That's kind of the goal of some of this, and we're having a discussion about an important topic anyway, right? So this is kind of an assignment that we have as men to figure out what to do about our dating lives, right? And the Bible talks so much about dating and choosing a good wife, so we're talking about some religious, spiritual stuff here anyway. Not religious, but spiritual stuff. And I think the biggest takeaway when I watch these videos with women is just like, none of them are paying attention to what us men have to say. This is why it's important for you guys to comment in the comment section, because women do read the comments. I know, because a lot of you guys get heckled and attacked by some women when they start reading the comments. These videos start performing very well. You know, women like status, women like money. So when they perform well, they say the big numbers, they come in, you know what I'm saying? Way after we started having the conversation, they come in after, you know, the conversation done blew up. Right? And they go on attacking spurts, right? And realistically, what they should be doing is trying to learn from us, right? Because if they listen, they'll learn, right? But do women want to listen? Of course they don't want to listen. Anyway, here's another woman at 40 that's just curious about, hey, why things are not going so well. And by the way, I must say, if you don't figure things out in your 40s, the 50s won't be easier. Okay, Kendra G is about to end her 50s, and she's going to realize that it's nearly impossible at this point, if she's ever wants children. I don't know if she has children or not, but it's going to be nearly impossible to really date for a man of value. Like, I think they got to almost count that out altogether.
If there's one advice I could give anyone who is dating right now and who wants to be in a long-term relationship, wants to be married, this is the one advice I would give to you. So for some context, I'm 40 years old. When I was 33, I had a conversation with my cousin who knew I wanted to get married, have more kids. And she said, if you want to be in a serious relationship with somebody, date seriously. Date seriously. When I was 27, I was online dating for some time. And I know it's the hype right now, but back then it wasn't like the thing that people would do, or it was like kind of taboo. I didn't take the online dating as seriously as I should, because maybe if I did, I would be married now. Who knows? The thing about online dating is it opens up a whole world of possible people you could be with, rather than back in the day when you would meet somebody maybe at the grocery store or at work or down the street. And when I was online dating, I was treating it like it was a sport. Even if I was interested in somebody, the next day, the next morning, maybe I would have 5 new messages or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, okay, that person's cuter, or that person's getting my attention. And I did that for years and years and years, until now I am in the age that I am and not married when I would like to be. I did eventually settle down. And from the ages of 33 to 38, I was in a serious relationship that ended up ending. But it has lingered on for longer than it should. So finally this year, when I was like, okay, I want to be serious about dating, I want to be serious about meeting somebody, I just needed to change the way I date. Going back to the advice my cousin gave me, if you really want something and if you're serious about dating, be serious about it. Don't treat it like a sport. Don't go to the next. Like, take your time, get to know somebody. If they're not the fit for you, do not waste time. Move on from some red flags that you may be like, oh, maybe, no, maybe. You know, we all know when it's not right and we force things along. So if it's not right, just move on. Don't waste time. Don't be like me. Don't stay in a relationship that you were kind of like, and then continue it for years and years and then wake up. And because telling somebody you're 40 as a woman and you want to date and you want to have more kids, they laugh at you. They laugh at you. If there's one advice.
She wants to have more kids. She wants to she wants you to blend her family with hers. And if you don't have a family, start a family and blend it with hers. Listen, it's a big request you're making, you know, and it's not that great of an offer. You know, in business, we talk about making big offers. I study businesses where we discuss making $100 million offers, right? And when you hear that, like, what's an offer where you'll make $100 million? Why don't you make something, a product so good, an offer so good, it's worth $100 million? Anyway, woman trying to offer you something, what is it really worth? To blend your family with a woman who already has one. What is it more valuable than starting a family with a girl? It's hard to say. It's hard for me to say that it's more valuable, okay? But that's a girl's, that's her assignment to try to figure that out. Figure out how you're going to convince a man it's more valuable to get with an older woman who already has children and wants more children instead of just getting with a younger woman. Because we know a girl like this, and I think she's decently attractive, right? She got nice hair. I like her hair. She has pretty brown skin. She's okay. I would give her like a 5. She's like an average kind of black girl, maybe just a 5.2, just slightly above average, like slightly above average. But still, you know what I'm saying? I don't find her unattractive. But being 40 and already having kids, it's hard for me to rationalize that when I could date a girl that has no kids and is younger than 40. I could date a girl that's like 28, no kids, 27, no kids. Right? And I'm not like those other guys in my age where they're going to cost me a lot of money beyond my control. I could be frugal with women, and I have no problem doing that. Okay, but here's another girl who is over the age of 40, and I guess in her mind she thinks she has a lot of leverage, so let's see what she has to say.
If you are single, dating, looking for your new boo thing, anything of the sort, I'm going to bless you with something I blessed my homegirl with yesterday. A few months ago, I can't remember how long, I have no sense of time, I saw a post on Threads, and it was from a therapist who said, what if he's not love bombing you? What if you're judging him through your trauma? That post stopped me in my tracks. And the number of people who were literally in the comments arguing with a licensed, multiple degreed therapist who also has a PhD was frightening. And as someone who's been on her own healing journey with Jesus, therapy, and coaching, I totally understood where the therapist was coming from. So yesterday, I was talking to one of my homegirls about dating. She 52, I'm 47. And we date totally differently, okay, y'all? She is very straight-laced, traditional dating, like, hey, I'm dating him and him only. Whereas I meet a man and I put him in a category. Do you have a future? Are you a right now moment? Or are you a I'm not even paying attention? And once you get placed in that category, you got to work your way out. And if you in that last category, you don't know me and I don't know you. So she met this guy on an app and they're hitting it off. And she's like, I'm scared to meet him because I think he love bombing me. Now, mind you, they've been talking back and forth for a couple of weeks. They exchanged phone numbers within a week. And she's like, I feel like he's love bombing me. But literally from the interactions and what she's explaining to me, I'm not seeing love bombing. But I'm also that friend that don't give an opinion unless you ask. So then after she vented for 15 minutes, she was like, well, what do you think? And I was like, can I ask you a couple of questions first? Because I just needed clarity on a couple of things. So I asked a couple of questions. She gave me the answers and it still wasn't giving me love bombing. So I asked her, I said, would you know an emotionally available, healed man who's ready to date and looking for his future if you met him? And she had to stop. And she was like, I don't know because I can't say that I've ever met one. And I said, what if you have met him and you are accusing him of love bombing you? Something to think about, ain't it? She was like, I'm gonna have to think about that. I said, girl, go ahead, think about it. And after you think about it, make sure you pray about it. Matter of fact, I want you to pray about it before you think about it. Because why are you praying for an emotionally healed man who's looking for his future? And the man is placed on your doorstep and you accuse him of love bombing. But you can take it to prayer and be open to what you hear. And then after you do that, maybe you should have a conversation with him. Like you talked it out with me. But now let's make sure you have a conversation with him. Because if you are feeling anxious, if you are feeling overwhelmed by this dating situation, the person that you're dating should know these things and see what he says. Now, also make sure you're intentional in the conversation because he may not.
It's so funny because, I mean, she's going on and on about this and intentional and he's healed and this and that. And, you know, the truth of the matter is women are self-sabotaging for the most part. Okay? And they're stubborn and they're conformists. So they do what everyone else does. They self-sabotage themselves, and they're stubborn, right? They're hard-headed, okay? And this is why you can't teach an old dog new tricks Neither an old woman, right? What a woman thinks she knows by the time she's 40, you're not going to fix her. Now, fortunately for this woman, she says she's 47 years old. She doesn't look 47. Black don't crack. All right? Black don't crack. But it doesn't mean it doesn't spoil, okay? This right here is a woman that, she says she has a rotation of men or puts men in different categories. You don't know me, I don't know you. If you're the future, what are you talking about? All that is so confusing to me because if you have a rotation as a woman, you always have a plan B as a woman. And if you have a plan B as a woman, you're always going to take your plan B. Women can never fully be single because there's always someone lingering around that they're kind of thinking, maybe I should talk to them, maybe I shouldn't talk to them now. Now, the girl that she was advising, right, was talking with this guy she met on a dating app. They exchanged numbers and they talked for weeks on the phone, and now she's accusing him of love bombing her. What man do you know is going to get a girl's phone number and then continue to talk to her on the phone without meeting her for weeks? And now he's love bombing her. And this girl's trying to accuse him of being healed. And she's trying to say he's love bombing her. Right? So the reality of it is they're both wrong. You know what I'm saying? This dude is a loser. You know how I know? Who the hell is going to continue to be someone's pen pal for weeks without meeting them? And someone would even think you're love bombing them. If I meet a girl and I get your phone number on a dating app, let me tell you something. I don't know you, you don't know me. And I don't even know if you're real. I'm not going to keep having a conversation with someone I've never met before for weeks on end, right? To then later figure out when I finally meet them that they're a complete catfish. No, I'm going to meet you right away, right? As soon as we get numbers, we're going to FaceTime right away. After we FaceTime, we're going to set up a time where we can meet up right away. If we can't do that, you're just disqualified, right? In order to date a guy like me, this is my steps when it comes to dating apps personally. You guys can do whatever you want. Some of you guys are not even on dating apps. But my process as someone that's time is very valuable is we'll exchange numbers, automatic FaceTime, like, hey, this is who I am. Oh, hey, how are you? Good. When can you FaceTime? I can FaceTime. Okay, good. Let's do it. That's exactly where I'm going because I don't know you. You could be a little boy in China for all I know. I don't know. Okay? So I want to make sure you are who you say you are. And if you are who you say you are, then let's meet up. And if we meet up and we actually click in person, then we can have a relationship. If we don't click in person, it's over. It's done. I'm not trying to waste time. Again, dating is very expensive. And you lose a lot of money and a lot of opportunity to build wealth when you're chasing women. And you'll never get the opportunity again, right? You could always make more money. I'm not saying you can. But when today's gone, today's gone. It's not coming back. This today, in 2025, this day won't return, right? It's finite. Once it expires, it's gone. And even though it's a brand new year, it's already the third month. Think about that, right? We're already about to eclipse the first quarter, okay? So it's something to think about. Anyway, my biggest takeaway from this is that women over 40 act very much like women over 30, and they act very much like women over 20. They think that they have the options to just do dating however they want. It doesn't matter. Their God, they don't serve a God. Well, they serve themselves. Clearly, they're, my sovereign king to my life is our Lord and Savior. That's my sovereign king, okay? That is who I yield to. Like I said, I don't surrender to God. I yield to God. I fear God, but I yield to him. I don't surrender to him. These women aren't surrendering to nobody but themselves. And therefore, they only have to appease themselves. And therefore, they don't really have structure. See, when you surrender to God, you got structure. The Bible, a lot of people don't realize it this way. And I'm not talking about it as a religious book because the Bible isn't a religious book. And I don't want to get into that, okay? The Bible predates religion, okay? The Bible came before religion, man-made religion. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, so the Bible is actually one of the best business books, if not the best business book that exists, because it talks about wealth. It talks about freedom. It talks about laboring for wisdom to build skills in order to become free, right? And serve people and generate wealth. Like I said, my God's a God of abundance. He's not a God of lack. And so a lot of people here that are lacking, they're not following the God that I know, right? She's not following the God that I know. Okay, the God that I know is going to reward you with abundance once you follow him. If you serve the devil, right? If you serve the man with the red horns, you know what I'm saying? He's going to make you a slave. Okay, if you serve my God, he's going to make you free. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel blowing up. I appreciate you guys. We got more videos like this. I can't believe it. Check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you over there.